Everybody! Hi guys!
Stay strong.
Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe everyone. Stay together. Healthy. Stay hydrated. Stay body. Stay fresh. Stay strong. Stay safe. Stay at home. Yeah. くれぐれもお体をお大事に。
Good evening. Welcome back to iClub by IK Academy. For those who first heard about IK stands for Integrating Knowledge. We are a technical training provider. We train, we integrate. We help technical professionals across the world to integrate what they have learned into their professional and personal lives. This is important because we believe that the correct technical know-how can save lives. All it takes is just a push of a wrong button. Neutrality is our priority. Rest assured that we are totally brand neutral with a strict focus on education. Because we know your next course of decisions depends on it. Drawing from decades of experience, our network of industry experts will bring practical wisdom to solutions. No textbooks, only experiences. At IK Academy, we believe learning is a lifelong process and Go Technical is what we emphasize. IK Evening Talk that you are watching now is part of the Learn with IK Live series organized by iClub by IK Community page in Facebook. This community page is a platform of a free learning resources where we will share articles, industry updates, networking, and some inspirational talk like what we are doing tonight. So please help to hit the like button, follow us, and help to share this out so that more can be benefited from it too. Also, please help to comment hashtag IK Academy as an encouragement to us. Both remote learning and working from home are equally hard. In this episode of the Inside Story, we will get to meet Awie, currently a health and safety manager at Lotus Stores Malaysia, a mother of three juggling three different roles during the pandemic. She works her day job, and when she's done, she returns home to be a childcare professional. She also plays the role of being a tech aide for her children. Join us as Awie shares with us regarding her whirlwind journey through the storm of this pandemic. Let's welcome Miss Awie. Hi, Awie.
Hello, hi Emlyn.
Hi, Awie. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Thanks you too for having me. Although I'm new in this industry, but to share real life experiences, I hope that my sharing will be useful to those in need.
Thank you very much, Awie.
Yeah.
Awie, you are currently the health and safety manager by profession. Is that something you always wanted to do?
Yeah, being brought up in an oil and gas company, in oil and gas family. So because my dad was actually having 30 over years of being in oil and gas industry, and then when he brought back the safety culture back to home, so he will actually help us learning a lot by sharing his experiences. And this continue even until now because my husband and my brother-in-law are all in the same industry. So even my sister is in the oil and gas industry. So this have helped a lot in my career development. And yeah.
Why are you not in oil and gas, Awie, if you don't mind? Why health
I
and
don't
safety?
mind. I don't mind at all. If I'm been given a chance, I would love to be doing oil and gas as well. But as of now, I'm still learning. And as you have said, this is a lifelong journey. It's a lifelong process. So in times to come, who knows, right? Yeah.
So you're still open to oil and gas as well. You also have that
Yeah.
passion.
Yes,
You want to be
I
part
do.
of it too. Yeah, but Lotus wouldn't want to let you go, I guess. Your boss wouldn't want to let you go. Awie, in which field you graduated in, yeah?
I'm actually an alumni from UiTM in Bachelor in Legal Studies.
Legal
it has nothing to
studies.
do, yeah, it has nothing to do with health and safety, what I'm currently doing. But then again, the essence of understanding legislation, the relevant act, guidelines, and implementation have actually helped in a lot, even until now. Yep.
Why didn't you actually, explore into legal after you graduated? What makes you decided to join health and safety?
There are a lot of circumstances in which very personal to me, but what I can share to you is that I really need to move on from what I feel like doesn't fit to my passion. So I was actually drifting into some other part of what I really wanted to do or what I'm inspired to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you're actually in health and safety. If you don't mind, can you share a
Yes.
little bit with us, maybe to the fresh graduate, what is the job scope, a basic job scope like, as a health and safety officer or a manager?
Uh, Yeah, sure. So, generally and fundamentally, a health and safety practitioner would be working a lot in analyzing data,
Mhm.
especially in workplace safety and health performance, conditions, and practices. So, that's about the fundamental of it.
Mhm.
But however, there are a lot of other scope that is lying inside of it, such as responsible to carry out compliances with relevant authorities, such
Mhm.
as DOSH or
Mhm.
Department of Environmental or etc. Right, and then
Mhm.
how are you going to help the organization to empower your colleague or the employee in safety awareness by having campaigns or talk or awareness programs? How are you going to help the organization in terms of having a standards of working procedures,
Mhm.
safety sharings,
Mhm.
lesson learned from previous incidents, and all
Mhm.
of this stuff. And
Mhm.
then something that is not jargon to all, something that is very familiar, even yourself, it would
Right.
be how are you going to coordinate emergency preparedness in
Mhm.
your working
Mhm.
place.
Right.
And if you are familiar with the term of toolbox or
Yep.
safety
Safety.
briefings,
Yep.
so all of these are the essential things that is associated to health and safety and environment lah, in
Mhm.
general,
Right.
right? Aside from that, you also help empowering your colleague or your employee or your subordinates in identifying hazards
Mhm.
by looking at the perspective of their job scope.
Right.
Aside
Sounds
from
like a
highlighting the
very
hazard,
meaningful job to me.
these are more technical part of it. So aside from highlighting gap or barriers in between, right?
Mm.
You're also responsible and accountable to come out with solutions
Mm.
or maybe some possible and practicable corrective measures or
Right.
preventive measures to
Right.
ensure you would help the organization to narrow down the gap and
Mhm.
also
To
to
reduce the
help
risk, right?
avoid recurring, to
Yep.
help avoid recurring of events, recurring of
Right.
any incidences, things
Yes.
like that. And yes, lots and tons of documentation need to be done.
Mhm.
It is depending on what are the standards that you are aiming for. So
Right.
if you're
Right.
talking about ISO, so you prepare for the standard documentation and whatnot.
Mm.
Yep.
Thank you very much for the sharing. Very meaningful job.
Yeah.
I feel it's a very meaningful job, isn't it?
It is to basically to help the organization to strive further. And how are you going to connect yourself into a development of your people,
Mhm.
help them to understand their purpose in terms of how they are going to do their job better,
Better.
how you are trying to help them be safe and sound, coming to work and going back
Going
from
back
work,
from work.
going back home. Yeah,
Yeah. So
so that's
are we
the core of
do
it.
we need a
Yeah.
certain requirement, to apply for a safety officer position like a competence certificate? Because you graduated in
Uh,
legal, right? So in order for
mm,
you to go into health and safety, do you need to, obtain certain certification, competence certification?
okay. Earlier, I have shared the basic scope of this line. So, if you are referring to the requirement or the standard requirement, or if you are referring to what is required by Malaysian Occupational Safety and Health Act,
Mm-hmm.
the requirement is to be certified as a competent person
Mm-hmm.
who have undergone certain trainings and
Mm-hmm.
passes the evaluation and assessment by Department of
Josh.
Occupational Safety
Mm-hmm.
and Health.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what has been laid down in Section 29 of OSHA lah. All right,
The lawyer is
that's
here.
the standard. That's the standard. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but then again, no worries, because additional or internal structural would be very much depending on the organization fit. So when I'm
Ah,
talking about organization fit, it means that specific requirements could be different from one industry to another.
to another. Yeah.
Yep.
All
Yeah,
right.
sometimes not all organization would require you to have certain passes or accreditation,
Right.
because all of this could be attained much later as you grow alongside the company.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you. Thank you for the explanation.
Mm.
So, Awie, what do you love most about your job? I can see your passion, the fire in you when you're explaining, even on the job scope. So, what do you love most about your job? Being, in health
Uh,
and safety.
okay, so when I first entering into retail, that was a few years back. So it was Tesco at the time. I was intrigued and excited about this industry. So I want to know more about retail, work behind the closed curtain.
Your
There are a lot of reasons
curiosity, is
why
it? It's your
I'm curious. I'm
curiosity.
very curious. There
Mm,
are a lot of reasons why I'm loving my job, but there is one significant thing that I'm doing here, is to help people to understand. You see, many people come into our place with some stigma. So they could come into our place just to buy grocery or to have a quick buying at our food court for food,
right.
but not many people understand how difficult it is to cater into customers' need, let
Mm,
alone that we often hear the stereotyping. If you
mm.
are familiar to customer is always right, or working in retail is very easy,
Mhm,
this is not always right. And
right.
while you are stereotyping our day-to-day job, there are a lot of other risks and a lot of other things that could cause harm to these people who's working underground, and they are not even realizing about this.
Mm,
So this is the biggest why I'm here, and I'm trying my very best to serve my people,
mm.
in ensuring that they are capable enough to recognize or to identify the risks while at work.
Right. Are you a very
Yeah.
selfless person by nature? Because from your conversation, I feel that you are putting others first. Is you feel happy to serve. Are you a very selfless
Mm.
person by nature, or your spouse say that, or your family say that you always put others first?
I'm a focus driven person. So I don't always negotiate on priority, but
Mm.
priority is a priority. So the word selfless could be very broad, or it's too
A
much.
big word.
I prefer, yeah, it's a big word. It's a compliment. Yes, thank you very much, but it's too big. I prefer focus, and whichever that needs my attention first, I'll put that into my number one list. Yeah.
Priority list, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
are we
Correct.
you can I ask, right? Like in safety, you need to have that passion, right? If let's say you only do it for money, I guess it won't bring you far. Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
This is a killer question. This is a killer question. Okay. Um, Generally, we, even you and I, we must be passionate in everything that we are doing, right?
True.
So most important of all, you yourself should find out your target, what value aligns to your skills,
Mm-hmm.
and what excites you when you are doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dollar
Mm-hmm.
and cent will definitely
Come.
come once you have tailored your profile.
Yes, correct.
So
When your
that's the
purpose
safest
when your purpose
safest
is
answer.
when your purpose
Yeah,
is,
when you
is right, you serve the right way, it will
yes,
come in automatically. You're
yes,
right, you're
correct,
right. You were saying that your
correct.
family members a lot are in oil and gas, and your dad or your husband
Mm.
or your brother-in-law brought the safety importance of safety home. So do you have that, in you, that when I serve, I guide the team or whatever I'm doing to my level best. I help them to be safe. I hope that God will actually put them in safe as well when they're actually working in oil and gas, which is quite a high risk industry. You have that hope?
Yes, I do. I do. I always. Uh, this sounds cliche, but I always pray that whichever family members that go out for work to come back home safely. Yeah, not
That,
only doing it for money, but you're also doing it for your family. So just be safe in whatever line that you are in. Yeah.
that's how you actually get the passion, right? When you try to educate or create the awareness inside your
Yes,
industries. Yeah. Are you a
yes,
risk
true.
taker? a risk taker by, when you talk about safety, to me is because everything is about safe, ma. So are you a risk
Correct.
taker by nature, or you are a very safe one? I just don't take risks.
Hmm. I am taking risks by speaking to you tonight. So, yeah, you see, life is not always rainbows and butterflies. Okay, sometimes you just have to move along with the challenges ahead. As you look up, you will find that there is a silver lining to whatever challenges that you are facing. So you take whatever risks you can, handle and manage it properly or accordingly to your needs. Then you will find a better place in no time.
Because being a mother, I'm just very curious. Like, for example, right, because you have been practicing safety. So when your kids are,
Mm.
are very young, when they go to playground, will you have that, be careful, don't fall down, will you have that in you? Or you are very fixed, your mind is already, nah, everything is under my control? Because as a mother, I was like, girl, don't
Mm.
climb, it's very dangerous, you have to come down, don't go up so high, things like that. How about yourself in your
Of course,
parenting
of course, I
style?
have, of course, I have somewhat of policy to my children. Policy. Okay, so like at home, I tell my children to this one thing: you do, you keep. So if you mess around, you clean up. Because why? Because if we do not educate them from early years like this, right, they will not remember it.
Mhm,
They would not know how to differentiate between what is bad and good.
mhm,
So it is better for us to start early, try to
mhm,
educate them slowly,
mhm.
because they are still in the middle of trying to have fun, trying to configure something new. So don't be harsh, just let them do, but with certain amount of policy that you can put in. Yeah, that's,
So basically, you
I
practice
know.
quite strict health and safety regulations at home too. Am I right?
Yeah, I do, because if they try to, you see, for example, if I don't tell them that if you play with electrical appliances, it could be dangerous to you. You could be something, or it could cost you something, right? If I don't tell them that, then they would not know what are coming. So you
Yep.
need to tell them, but very
Educate
carefully,
them.
because they are still young. Sometimes they do not
Right.
understand that. So you need to come up with an easy example for them to understand.
Right.
Yeah,
So you
this
are
this
creating the
also should be
awareness.
practiced. Yeah, creating awareness, and this is what we have been doing at workplace as well. We cannot just put something that is very serious right in right to the face,
Mhm,
because people would not know what you are trying to talk about, right?
mhm,
Then you must explain it in a way that people easy to understand, and
mhm.
people can follow what you are trying to say. Yeah,
Right. That's
the
how you
same thing. It's
practice
just the
at
same
work
thing.
as well.
Yeah,
Mm.
correct.
How many children do you have,
Mm.
Awie?
I'm having two beautiful girls
Wow.
and a baby boy. Yeah.
Wow, baby boy. So can I send mine? I only have one. Can I send mine for you to educate on safe health and safety awareness?
It depends, because my children, the bigger two, they call me lioness.
Aiyo. Awie, did the
Mm.
pandemic impacted your life?
Uh, Physically and mentally, yes.
Do you want to share
Yeah.
with us a little bit? Were you working from home for the last 2 years?
I was working from home for the past 2 years, and I'm also being given an option to work from home until now.
Mm,
So during the pandemic, back then I was only having two kids.
mm-hmm.
Okay, in 2021, I was having another one. The latest one
Oh,
is a baby boy.
mm-hmm.
So I
Congrats.
was actually having three challenges during that time.
Mm-hmm.
Number one is you have to handle every chores in the house and your kids. Number two is you have to work alongside your daily routine at home. And
Mm,
number three, I was also pregnant. So it was difficult for the first few months,
mm-hmm.
because pandemic is something new, right? So
Mm,
there are not I mean, people are not really aware of what is happening or how are we
How
going to
to
do this.
handle.
Everyone is panic. Yeah,
Right.
everyone is panic. And then you also have to meet your deadlines and all of this stuff, right? But then again, as the time goes by and with the assistance of my support system, so things tend to get easier. Okay, so the key here is you have to have a very, very strong support system. So my support system was, number one is of course my management, my managers, my team, and then the second one is my family, my husband and my parents. So you need to
Right.
have a very strong support system.
Mm.
Yeah.
So were you able to strike a balance at the very beginning? The answer is no, right? You can't,
No,
right?
I have to be very honest. I'm not going to lie to you. But then
Mm.
again, as I said earlier, after a few months, things get consoled down. You see, working from home, you will have a lot of luxury of managing your working time.
Correct.
Okay, if it's not possible to be done for me, if it's not possible to be done while your babies are still awake and jumping here and there, right? I know that is very much distracting, but then again, you can switch your timing to ensure that your deadlines are met.
Right.
Although there are times that this could be challenging, but sooner or later you can talk to your support system, so that you can have much tolerance in terms of work and how are you going to manage your job. So speak up,
Communication is very important, right?
communicate. So all of these are the most important things if you are trying to work from home.
Right. How long do it takes to actually adapt to this change? How long does it take for you to adapt or for you to realize communication is very important?
Actually 6 months.
6 months.
So we started MCO officially on March, right? So March 2020. And then I was finally getting on my feet somewhere in July or August. So it took me that long to
Right.
coordinate my stuff.
Mm.
By the time everyone at home understood that mommy is at work, so they no longer disturb me. They will say, okay, Lioness is at work, so we cannot disturb her. So that's how I manage.
Awie, can I ask a very personal question? I don't know where you answer. Did resignation, crossed your mind during that time of suffering when everything just calm? Do you just think that I just put everything aside, resign first, and then I'll come back later? Have it actually crossed your mind? You can choose not to answer this question.
I have had moments where I've doubted myself, especially when I know that I'm pregnant with third baby. So that was where I was having some kind of thinking. Yeah, this one is a very honest story from me. But then again, there are a few things that came into my consideration, and there are a lot of people that share how they have managed things remotely, right? So we learn how to adapt, and we try as much as we can, as much as possible, to accommodate to everyone's need. So that's where I just stop there and think and be rational, then come back to work happily. Not happily,
Right.
but just do whatever
Better.
core that I have to do. Yeah.
Just now you mentioned about the management support system is very critical,
Mm.
very vital in this stage. Can you give, maybe some of the managers who are watching this from any other industries, like if let's say they still have staffs working from home, do you have any tips like how, because you have gone through it, you have been through it, you felt it. So can you share, like if let's say as a manager, how can we support, not physically, mentally, or how do you feel the support? Can you share a little bit, with us?
The key thing to this two-way communication. The key thing is two-way communication. So if you are desiring to working from home, you need to speak up to your line manager or to anyone that is relevant to you. And then you tell them what are the challenges that you are having by working from home, or why are you wanting to be working from home, or what are the values that you can promise, and how are you going to manage things. So all of this you need to lay down in one piece of paper, maybe. Just tell who is relevant to you and get their support on it.
And
Yeah,
also
and
be
then on the management
accountable of
side,
our promise,
yeah,
right? We have to be accountable of our
correct. Be
promise.
accountable for it. True. And then for the on management side, things are getting more and more loose nowadays. Okay, so physical office could not be relevant anymore in the future, because we have done this now. We have done this now. We have been working from home for the past 2-3 years, right? This is going to be happening in the future. So just
Correct.
have a look at a helicopter view on how you are going to surpass your organization in terms of working remotely, and how are you going to accommodate the needs of to not having a physical office anymore. There are a lot of savings there anyway. But then again, there are the pros and cons. You could always have a comparison in between. You can lay it out into your teams, and then just try to communicate on it. Yeah.
Like you have 3 children, right, Awie? So as a working mother, when you're actually working from home, you mentioned your support system. What if there is family who don't have, don't have in-laws staying with them, or maybe the husband is in oil and gas? Have you ever imagined if only you alone with 3 kids?
I did.
Can you give us some tips, like maybe perhaps there are still some moms who are actually juggling between this, and they don't go back to office, they still work from home, they are trying their level best to do, but it just seems that everything is broken into pieces. Do you have any tips for this?
Okay, so what was happening with me, what was happening to me, that during that time I was sitting alone here at home with my children. So I am actually lost. I'm actually down to my core. Like, what am I supposed to do next? My husband is at the rig now doing his work. I'm here alone with the
He
kids.
was still at rig, that time.
Yeah, that time he was at the rig. Then I was very lucky because I have a very supportive mother. So my parents was actually staying with me. But during that first few months of MCO, right, it was a total lockdown, right? So my mom was actually staying in Bangi with my sister. And then I'm not sure how she's going to meet me here in my
house.
residence. So I will not do my work. To be honest with you, I will not do my work during daytime, but I will start doing my work whenever I have break time, when my kids are sleeping, or when I ask them to do something that they can, like
They can play by
drawing,
themselves.
or they can play by themselves. So that's where I just trying to manage it, and I did that for like 1 to 2 months. Yeah.
But aren't you
Success.
mentally exhausted? I feel, to me, my MCO, or when I work from home and have to teach my daughter, because they study from home too, right? So
Yeah, true.
it feels like it's 24/7 work. Last time when we go to office and the children go to schools, we can focus at work. And now, the moment that the child has something to do, we have to focus at our work. And then the next thing we have to do this, that. Don't you feel mentally exhausted?
Yeah, I did. That's
and then with
very
the
true.
baby some more.
In 2020, I haven't had my baby yet, so I'm safe during that
Still
time.
in your stomach.
Still safe. In 2021, I also haven't had my baby. I'm still pregnant. So I'm also safe. But as I told you earlier, I will manage in between the time that they're taking break from hoo-haing, take my own time to do my work. Yeah. But mentally exhausted, yes. Yeah.
What holds you on, Awie? When you're mentally exhausted, what can we do to distress? Can you give us some tips? What do you do to distress? You just feel like I don't want to, there's so many things. What about me? I got no more me time. There's no more me. There's no slot for me, for work, for child, for, everything.
Okay, so I'm actually a person who love to learn about new things. So I love experiences. I love gaining learnings. So I love doing something that I haven't do before. I haven't done before. So this is what has kept me going. Aside from that, my support system is very, very strong. So I have a very, very strong team who have assisted me a lot, especially my manager. So because he was a good coach, he was a very fine coach. So he always give me ways. He always guide me in a way that nobody have ever guided me. So this is not like this is actually a compliment for him. Okay, and then I also have a very supportive parents who will help me, who was helping me with the children while my husband is away, and also my husband, if he's onshore, so he will always help me. So this is how maybe as you go along, right, maybe you can find your own support system, maybe your friend or your acquaintance, who knows, right? So support system is very important if you are facing challenges. Don't face the challenges alone.
Alone.
So that is not good for your mental health. So if you feel in need of assistance, or if you feel that you are down to your core, or you have broken parts in you that need some fix, and just find somebody to talk to. Just find
Very
somebody to
good.
talk to.
So our
Yes.
audiences, you can actually find Awie too to talk to, right, Awie? Awie is more than happy to share. Am I right, Awie?
Can.
Awie, since you mentioned about these people that you love so much and they love you so much, and
Hmm.
perhaps they are watching the live now, do you have any words for them particularly?
Yeah, I just want to thank my husband very, very much, because of his trust on me. He was putting his trust on me and support me in my life choices. uh, I couldn't imagine venturing this road alone. This is a road not taken by others. Okay, it's very different from my background. But then again, I would also like to thank my parents. My parents is actually somewhere in Miri right now. Okay, because they have not been back to Sarawak for quite some time. So
Yeah,
just
you're from Sarawak,
go back.
huh?
Yes, correct. Yep, that's it. And my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awie, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Um, I've been here in Peninsula for more than 20 years. So it's time to go back to my root and serve as many people as possible back in my homeland. I would still be doing this core in health and safety, and I'm really, really keen to learn more in different industries. So in 5 years' time, I would project myself to be in different industries, maybe leading different people in different company background or company
Right.
details.
But in
Yeah.
back in Sarawak, you hope to go back to Sarawak.
Yes.
Your
Yes.
husband is also from Sarawak.
Yes, we are.
So you actually want to bring your children back to Sarawak as well? You prefer them to grow up in Sarawak?
Yeah, I'm actually a very, how to say, I'm actually someone who want to preserve my culture. So I'm really preservative, conservative type of Iban woman or Iban lady. Actually, I wanted my children to learn more about their ancestors, learn more about their cultures,
their
learn
root.
more about their roots. I wanted that for my children, because I don't want this. I don't want them to not know where are they coming from,
They
what
belong.
are their roots, who are their belongings to. That's why.
So what makes you come
Yeah.
to, I'm just curious, what makes you come to, KL 20 years back? Study?
No, we were actually in Terengganu, because my dad was working with Schlumberger.
Schlumberger.
Yeah, so we were there since, my dad was there since 1991. And then we follow him back in 1998. So until now.
Right. Yep. But now he's still working. Is he still working or he's already retired?
No, he's retired.
So
he's an old chap. He's an old chap who is surrounded by a lot of grandchildren.
A lucky man.
Yeah. He's a dato.
Wow, he's a dato.
Yeah, dato to children.
Dato, nenek. So what is some Iban culture?
Nenek, yes.
Some Iban culture that you would like to share a little bit with us, to audiences. What are some Iban cultures that is, you find it interesting? Do you want to share, take this chance to share a little bit with us?
We are very open-minded people. We are very open-minded people, and we preserve our culture. Yeah, we really preserve our culture. We want to make sure that our culture is being kept safe generation to generations. So these are the main value that we have as an Iban. Yeah. So this is what I want to give my children back, and this is what I want to preserve for my bloodline.
Yeah. They know about it. You teach them about it too now. Some of the cultures,
of course.
Yeah, even though you are here, you will still teach them, right?
Yeah,
it's still in hand. Awie, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that the audiences, do you have any questions? I don't see any question now, right? If you have any question, you can ask before we say goodbye. But before that, we have come to an end of the session. Awie, do you have any words of encouragement to our audiences who are watching tonight? Either, they are graduates, they're fresh graduates, or they are mother who are working from home. Do you have any, words of encouragement for them through your personal experience?
So to all working mothers, we are all having the same challenges. As I said earlier, you don't take hold of a lot of things. It will not be good for your mental health. So speak up or search for something that could make you ease out the burden inside your heart. All right. If you are a safety practitioner like me, feel free to contact me through LinkedIn. Thanks to Emmeline.
Thanks, Awie.
If you are fresh graduates, find out what is your best value and how you can help in the organization that you are aiming for or desiring for. You see, your certificates, this does not define you, but your value at work will. So that's it. Thank you.
Nice, short and precise piece of encouragement. Thank you very much, Awie, for your humble sharing today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us today, audiences. Maybe you would like to leave a thank you note as a gesture of appreciation to our guest, Awie. Please stay tuned with us at iClub by IK Academy for our upcoming webinar this Thursday at 3 p.m. on Energy Optimization of Clean Room by Dr. Lal Jayamaha, the author of Energy Efficient Building System and also author of Energy Efficient Industrial System, together with IK host Miss Casey. Please find the link for registration in the comment, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you once again for having us tonight. Stay safe and good night from me, Emmeline at IK Academy. See you next time. Thank you, Awie. Bye-bye.
Hi guys.
Stay strong.
Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe, everyone. Stay together. Stay hydrated. Stay fresh. Get through this together. Stay strong. Stay safe. Stay at home. Stay safe. くれぐれもお体をお大事に。